So for my primary calculator, I'm going to use plus, minus, times, and divide. And I could put the words on if I wanted to, but I don't feel like it right at this minute in time. I can still change my idea or my plan at a later stage. For this code, I'm going to go towards the backdrop, because I want the backdrop to start asking questions about how this calculator is going to be used. If you remember right back at the start, when we were looking at this reset button, we did when green flag is clicked, it's going to broadcast this message start, kind of like just sending out the instruction, we're going to start this soon. And when that button is clicked, we're going to reset. We're going to broadcast this message start. So on my backdrop, I want to use the event that when I receive start, I want something to happen. So the first thing I want to happen when they click the start button is I want them to ask the question, what's your first number? Well, I've got a sensing, ask what's your name and weight, and I can change the question in here. So what is, so it's got the apostrophe, what's your first number? Bam. Now it's going to wait for the answer there. Now I could use this answer, which I'm going to have to in a moment, but the best thing I can do at this point in time is get a new variable. I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to call it value1, number one, number one. Feels like the top tier of numbers here. So it's a value. And I can put it in my screen if I wanted to. Might even change the way it looks. Yeah, that's for the best. Normal readout. There we go. I want to set number one to be whatever the answer is. Okay, and I'll zoom in to make it look a little bit easier. So now when I hit reset, the background asks me, what's your first number? Type it on in, and it goes on there. So why, you may ask, have I clicked these numbers? Well, nothing stops me that when I click it, I can put it in that number later. I'm just going to allow them to type it in for now to make it a little bit easier. Test their typing skills as well as their button clicking skills. Now, whenever I press the green flag, it should ask me that question. Whenever I press the reset button, it should ask me that question. That's why we've got that message broadcasting. So after we've set that number one, we're going to also ask them for their second number. Now, if you're on a secondary calculator for secondary teachers, you're more likely going to skip this step. But it's worth taking a look at it anyway. So what's your second number? And because, as programmers are lazy, we've already written this before, I'm going to need that. But I'm not going to store it as number one. I'm going to need another variable, number two. And I used a capital letter for the first one, so I'm going to stick with a capital letter for the second one. So number two is going to be equal to the answer. What's your first number? 2. What's your second number? 3. Yeah. At the moment, that's all I'm going to do. I could ask them to click on the plus, the minus, the times, or divide, but I think that's the next step, because I can do the maths when I've got the numbers. Over to you.